Grammar in use.
Hi, and welcome to yet another episode of Grammar in Use. What are we going to talk about? Well, let's find out. Wow, it's the gerund! How exciting! Well, you certainly have met a few ing forms in your school career. For example, a sentence like "Soccer is an exciting game" might have come across your way. Also, a sentence like "Peter is running" has come across your path. And finally, you might have run into a sentence such as "running is fun." However, while all these sentences look similar on the outside, after all, they're all ing forms, grammatically speaking, they are very, very different. Let's take a look at the first sentence here. Soccer is an exciting game. So, if we take a look at the word exciting, we might as well replace it with a word such as nice. And thus, it becomes clear that here the ing form is simply an adjective. If we take a look at Peter's running, for example, we will certainly find out that here we've got a combination of a auxiliary verb and a full verb. So Peter is running here simply is a verb form, and it is the progressive form of a verb. Now let's take a look at running is fun. Running could easily be replaced by a it is fun. So this shows us that it has got a subject position in this sentence. It also acts as a noun. So this is what we're looking for. This is our gerund, finally. Let's take a look at the formation of the gerund. This is really, really easy, so you can easily think for yourself. So all these forms are built in the same way, and it's a really, really easy principle. It's simply the infinitive of a verb plus a ing form. However, there might still be a few minor things that you should take care about. Let's take a look at the word to read. Here, clearly the form is reading. However, you can see that with love, I highlighted the E. If we add an ing to love, then this E disappears. And if we take a look at the form run, we will find out that the N in run is multiplying. So make sure to add the second N. This is of course a template for other forms as well. So keep that in mind when building the gerund. Now, we know that there are different ing forms. We know how these ing forms are built, but still we don't quite know what the gerund is and what it's supposed to do, right? Let's find out. First of all, a gerund is still a verb. It does not have the to, but it has an ing at the end. It looks like the progressive form, but it acts as a noun. And this is pretty much what it comes down to. The gerund acts as a noun. This is the important thing for us. There is a similar construction to the English gerund in German. It is called the substantiviertes Verb. Let's take a look at two sentences. Peter is running and running is fun. Peter is running is simply a progressive form, present progressive and not gerund. Running is fun, however, is the gerund. In German, we could translate that by Peter läuft gerade, or Rennen macht Spaß, or we could say das Rennen macht Spaß, so it becomes really clear that das Rennen is a substantiviertes verb. So das Rennen was built from a verb and now is a noun. Now, let's take a look at the functions of the gerund. Interestingly, the function or the gerund can serve a lot of functions in a sentence. Take a look at the following sentences to find out which functions it actually can take. What about biking is great? We could simply ask the question, what is great? So clearly the gerund here acts as a subject of the sentence. I love riding. What do I like? Well, it's riding, so we can see that the gerund here serves as an object. Now it's getting a bit more complicated, but just barely. Clearly, my use of the color red indicates the forms that are actually the gerund. Let's start with the first sentence here. I dream of moving to Australia. Here it has got object function, but why do we use it, or how do we know that the gerund is coming here? Well, if you take a look at the of, the in, or the of down here, these words are called prepositions. And if we have got a combination of a certain verb and a preposition, then a gerund has to follow. Same thing further down. Are you interested in going to the cinema? Interested is an adjective. Then we've got another preposition and we've got the gerund. So certain adjectives and prepositions are followed by the gerund. And finally, I hate the idea of leaving early. Well, the leaving early, the of, and the idea show us that here we've got a combination of noun, preposition, and those are followed by the gerund. But how do we translate these sentences into German? Easy enough. Biking is great. Radfahren ist großartig. I love riding. Either we could say, ich liebe das Reiten, as a general habit, or we could also say, ich liebe es, zu reiten. And actually, this is a translation for the gerund that is very often used. Similarly, the sentence, I dream of moving to Australia, translates as, ich liebe es, nach Australien zu ziehen. And then we've got, are you interested in going to the cinema? Hast du Interesse daran, ins Kino, guess what, zu gehen? I hate the idea of leaving early. Ich hasse den Gedanken, früh zu gehen. This type of translation is called zu infinitive, and it is often used to translate the gerund. Now, which constructions are followed by a gerund? Well, as you can see, the list here is rather extensive. The good news is it's not really complicated. The bad news, however, is you have to learn this list by heart. So there is no way around studying that list. These verbs all have got a gerund following. Note that the yellow words here, those words highlighted, they can also be followed by a to infinitive. And here on the right side, we've got a combination of verb, adjective, or noun plus preposition that are then followed by a gerund. So what you have to do now is study this list, and whenever you find the word enjoy in a text, for example, you know that the gerund has to follow. Peter enjoys reading a book. Or let's take the dream of. To dream of flying. I dream of flying every day. I'm interested in hiking. I'm interested in going. I'm interested in doing. So there are a lot of possible things that you can add here, or words. To be crazy about skiing, for example. To be good at skiing. To be tired of being, and so on and so on. So a lot of words here tell us the gerund is coming, and you have to study them by heart. I hope that helped.